They rated all his shit. Yeah, I saw that. That's
So
weird. I don't know what happened to the stream. Just cut off. I didn't even notice until right now. Oh yeah, now it's back to live. Interesting. Well, we're still watching this 1875 here. We want to see this volume continue to move down and keep pushing the market a little bit lower here, but it's just struggling. The tempo is just so slow today, similar to yesterday, which makes me think that most of this selling is old business here. Yeah, we might have got our YouTube stream clapped because we're saying crazy stuff.
America.
I don't know if Bricktop is in here. Whoever Bricktop is in the Discord, I'm trying to assign him a role, but it says unable to load profile, banner, badges, and more about you. So I don't know what that means.
He's a bot.
Probably. Go back at this 1875. We want to see sellers move down and start to offer this level, which they are doing. We want to see them hold it and then get it back below that 1575 there. The move down was fairly weak, and now we're back in the B period, it becomes less convincing for sellers to move down and push it down. Crypto Mojo, yeah, I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. It just all of a sudden stopped. Probably got clapped on for saying things that we shouldn't have, I guess. The truth can get you in trouble a lot of times when it comes to the government. Did you see that?
Independent thinkers here.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see that that new bill has they're hiring 87,000 IRS agents?
IRS, yeah.
Jesus, for what? They're going to come after anyone who had big crypto gains 100%. So if you had some big crypto gains, just be ready to pay some tax on that shit if you didn't pay taxes on it. I was reading a thing recently, like Odell Beckham Jr., the receiver in the NFL, he, last year decided that he wanted to receive his paycheck in crypto, and he actually ended up, technically having to pay to play in the NFL last year because of how low or how down Bitcoin was. Mark Cuban was talking on a podcast the other day too, and he said he didn't sell his Bitcoin, at least not all of it. He's still a holder of it, and he's a big holder of Ethereum as well.
He'll come back. Throw them in their printing press.
The Bible says that you will know the truth and it will set you free, but YouTube has a different view on that. Yeah, YouTube says if you say the truth, then they'll ban you.
And that weird situation, everything about that is they ban you for that stuff, but yet they allow these videos that are a total scam. That you send me one ETH, I'll send you two. They allow this. So obviously, they have technology to stop that. They they allow it.
Yeah,
The
it's
truth
called
doesn't get you clicks.
it an agenda. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're putting out solid information or good information, a lot of times they're like, no, 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 this guy, he needs to stop. And it's not
I
even
got to
like
go to
they don't even send
BitChute.
you a message. It's just like all of a sudden my stream just stopped streaming. You know, I didn't click stop. My internet didn't go out. Like it just all of a sudden said like the video on here just like went to like, you know, nothing. And I'm like, what is going on? Then I looked and saw that it was stopped.
Did you check out BitChute?
BitChute?
Yeah, BitChute's where everybody went. They got picked up into.
Oh, no, I didn't.
It's a pretty good platform. It's decentralized and blockchain, so it can't be altered or whatever.
Oh yeah, Crypto Mojo, definitely. Yeah, jump in there. Check it out. Yeah, we must have had a bunch of bots in the Discord earlier because there was they're spamming those whatever it's called baiting websites.
Yeah, Discord's got some shady stuff too, where they save all your information forever.
Yeah, I know someone that's having to deal with that because they made a mistake recently. Never want to bite the hand that feeds you, you know what I mean?
Rip it off, make a stump.
So big excess or kind of a big response from D here. Watch the 27 again, and then really that 32 was that level back up, but the move back up on D is just keeps bouncing up, and you see the weighted sectors, you know, healthcare flip back to green right there. Energy's doing pretty okay. Apple bounced right off of its open and is bouncing up here. Microsoft flipped back to green. And I'm not saying now's the time to buy, but you know, we just saw a big response off those lower prices, and really these sellers unable to get anything going after a little bit of liquidation from weak-handed buyers. Again, now we're right back at the VWAP, sitting at 26. Wonder if we can, what's the settings here on this? Let me see. Settings, edit studies, weighted AD. So D's breaking back into the previous day's low here. Yeah, just bulls for it.
Can I?
Sure. A bit of a bounce there. Some short covering coming in. Watch for a break above the open. Weighted AD just went positive here too. See it right here. Watch for them to try to break above the open and hold above the open. That's kind of their goal here. Let me finish this real quick. Counter coming more. Yeah, today is a difficult day to trade. You've got to stay extremely patient and you've got to be willing to cut trades quick. Good. You like them? Okay. Basically just sitting like right here at even is what it looks like here. Buyer got stuck right at the high, you think? Right above the open? Yeah, it does look like it right there on that 34 roach. Yeah, I think so. Let's see if they can get above it. 113 lots traded up there. Yeah, I think you're right. Looks like some bids are trying to step up here. And it looks like they're stepping up right on that prior day low, trying to scare the market a little bit higher. Look at the weighted sectors really kind of flipping over here. Healthcare is green, financials green, consumer staples just flipped green. Lemon Kumar, what's up, man? I'm good, bro. Or Loxman Kumar. I'm good. How are you? IT's very close to green too, yeah. And if information technology flips, you know, you could really get some push to the upside. And I mean, we came down below the 20 about, you know, six points below the 20 and really didn't get much follow through. You know, so unconvincing from these sellers, even when they got back below. That's why I said I didn't want to stay in a short if we got back below that 18 or back above that 1875, back into the B range. That's an extension, right? Now D period has taken the low of C and the high of C and is kind of back into balance, but if we start to see that point of control shift up back inside this previous day's range, that's going to be an indication telling us that there's opportunity for the upside. Remember, we have some mechanical references from yesterday as well. We do have a mechanical D high sitting right above the open, but we do have some mechanical references above the last yesterday that H high was right off a previous day's high, and then that J and I are, pretty much right on each other. So just kind of mechanical selling yesterday at the late end of the session. Hello, Peter Rezenchek, man. He's such a good dude. I'm just listening to Peter Rezenchek talk in my other ear. He's doing a little broadcast for the members, and he just said he always admits that he's never the smartest guy in the room. He just works the hardest. I love that. I love that. I just love that analogy, and like I really am a big believer in like that Tim Nioke. I'm butchering his name, of course, but his saying where he says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
But is working hard better than working smarter?
Well, you can work smart and hard. You just have to outwork the other people. You want my WhatsApp number? For what? I don't even know what WhatsApp is for. You are a new man?
It's just a texting thing, but you can't. You can delete your messages and all that, and like you won't ever see them. It's like decentralized. Long story short.
I don't know
What
why
is
this guy
it?
wants one of the guys on Facebook chat is asking me for my WhatsApp number.
You should be using Signal. Signal doesn't save any information on any server.
Oh, it's encrypted. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
You think you're
Yeah, what he
fucking
meant.
because you're
Signal's
you're in college, you're so
encrypted.
smart, huh? I'm just kidding. Oh, my little brother is really smart. Smarter than me for sure.
I have a WhatsApp. It's a total waste.
Well, technology's kind of lost on you anyways, Jared. So
Yeah, that's true.
Jared's like, how do I get to this in Discord?
I don't know Discord, dude. I hate Discord. I can't navigate around it. I don't know. Not cut and dry, dude.
It's a scam alert. Yeah, I imagine it would be. Like, send me your WhatsApp and I'll send you Bitcoin.
Exactly.
And I'm sure I pissed off someone recently who probably wants to try everything they can to get back at me. So, because they banned them from our Discord. What is it?
Why would he do?
Oh, you could read back in the messages if you want. I don't really feel like wasting my breath on it. A lot of people outside the US use it, their main messaging app. Only Americans use the default messaging app that came with their phone, like iMessage. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So breaking above the open here. Look for that, like I said, I think that target's still the 47. That would make sense. And we are getting the euro close right here in 4 minutes. So that could this could be just a bit of euro just short covering until into this last 4 minutes here.
Does the euro close start in D period? It starts at beginning of D?
I think the euro closes at 11:30. So I think that's just like, like how our market closes at 4 and then it has like the settlement period. So I think there's still a little bit of blow off after that. But yeah, I think D period is like leading into the close. So pretty much everyone starts to exit all of their positions. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think actually, I don't know if it closes on the half hour. It might be like the close of their settlement as well. I saved it
As
somewhere.
fast as that D period moved up, I was curious if that was a bunch of people closing out their short positions.
That makes sense, yeah, and that's kind of what it looked like because it really didn't trade much volume. It just kind of bounced up. What's the volume today? Yeah, volume today is 11% less than the previous day. And let me see. Here we go. UK. Oh, okay. UK trading hours. Here it is. So where is it? So they close, the London Stock Exchange closes at 4:30 p.m. And if we go like this, it's only 3:30 p.m. right now in London. Can anybody confirm that for us? That's just what Google's telling me. Double R, Tommy, you guys in here? Let me see. No, they're both off today. They must both be working. I'm just looking at Investopedia, and it says 4:30, and then when I click on my little world clock here, it says it's 3:30 in London. So might not be for another hour, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like 11:30 is the time that we track every single day for the close. So let's find a different website maybe. Just do what everyone else does when they don't like the answer that they get. Find a different spot that gives them the answer that they want. London is 4:30, Giles? Okay. And so what time is it over there in London right now? Because my Google says 4:30, but I don't know how like daylight savings affects how we track over there. Yeah, it says so this is what Google's telling me, right? London Exchange closed at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's
So yeah, D
period.
period would be the last 30 minutes then, I guess.
Right, that's what I think, yeah. Boss, I'm following your signal. What signal? I don't give signals. Matt Campbell, thank you for the sub.
You just winking at us for nothing or what?
Am I what?
Just winking at us for nothing? Right here, wink, wink.
When I wink, it tends to be life-changing for a lot of people. I have a powerful wink. Just ask my wife. So London close is over here. Seeing the weighted sectors climb up above this zero level just a little bit. Apple's above that 165. Hasn't broken its Globex high yet. If we take a little peek around, right, the Dow is actually moving up a little bit. still above yesterday's close. AMD still sitting down at the low, so a lot weaker. Amazon has bounced a bit, still sitting below its open. Google still sitting below its open, but is trying to move up here. Microsoft is green, strongest sector or strongest stock of the day. Even Netflix has climbed up off of the lows after peaking below that zero gamma at 225. And Tesla still just kind of balancing lower, a little bit of what looks like liquidation to me. We can see the VIX here, just really not doing shit. Oil's turned back down after making a high here as well, and then gold is trying to climb up back up as well. So a little risk on, risk off. Little Mr. Miyagi here today. Wax on, wax off. Weak spot. So you got a little bit of liquidation there below the prior day's low. So sellers are going to look to move down to hold this 2750 again. But looks like we're getting some buying off the previous day's half back. No real ticks. Look at the weighted sector starting to pick up again on the downside here. See if they can hold the low here. I mean, really, you're just looking at, more balance. You look at the profile here, we've got A excess on the high, D excess on the low, and fairly decent balance for the most part. And the TPO, or like the value, is really just kind of forming right below the prior day's low, or right at the prior day's low. Got 5 TPOs here, 4, the 4 down here, so. You're done? Okay. Still there. No, not till after noon. Seller's still trying to move down on this 27.5, 27, 75, 28 level. But it doesn't look like they're really willing. The way that the volume's kind of stacking, it doesn't look like they're like really moving down. It just looks like they're just, kind of holding at that level. Right, this E is a mechanical low, should easily break in my opinion, but it just hasn't. So if selling was strong, it would make someone, it would make sense that they would just, really flush it. He said, if someone wants to hear someone stroke their ego, then Butt Boy is live now. And we're sitting right here at the VWAP at the 26 still. Well, I mean, to me right here, it looks like buyers are buying responsively below yesterday's low. You couldn't resist. I don't care. I don't even. I've only had one interaction with him, and it was when we were talking about how, you know, and this was at like 45,000. Crypto was not done with the downside, and we kind of reached out to his team and were saying like, hey, you know, we'd love to just come on your channel and, you know, maybe talk a little bit about what we're seeing. And I don't even think it was him, but his team responded to me and said, you know, who are you? You're nobody, so no. And I was like, oh, sorry for wasting your time.
Like you don't know the name yet, but you will.
Yeah. I mean, the fucking, it was back when old Crypto Face was like, I'm not saying that I'm gonna put a big long on, but I've got a pretty decent sized Bitcoin long on, and then the fucking market took a bath, and it's like, you know, whoops. Fucking
That go how you thought it was gonna go?
yeah, exactly. That guy I thought was gonna go. I can put a guarantee on a box that I took a shit in. Is that gonna make you happy?
It's so hard not to overtrade in a market that's like this, huh? It's just like it's so choppy, you know, it's so up, down, up, down, up, down, like and making, you know, 4 or 5 point moves quickly. So it's like it's so hard not to just like get in, get out, get in, get out.
Right. And the one thing that can help you with that, right, is remember what the market is doing, right? And so let's go ahead and zoom this out. And so we are in balance, right? We know that. And so inside balance, if you guys can just tie this into your brain forever, because this is how balance works, we know that the trades that we want to place are responsive trades. We don't want to be initiating at any new prices. So we know that we don't want to be buying these breakouts because typically they're going to have trouble working, right? As we saw yesterday, all the momentum traders that got trapped, and then we had a liquidation of old money and short liquidation of short money, I guess, getting kind of squeezed down to the bottom. But so if we know we want to place responsive trades, we want to be selling the highs and buying the lows, but we also don't want to just, you know, every time it goes low, sell it, and every time it goes low, buy it, and every time it goes high, sell it. We want to be selling off of, you know, spots that we could see responsive traders also participate. So as we're below yesterday's low, right, and even we know that 4120 is a good level, we've had three opportunities to buy that level, right? For me, I haven't really had an opportunity to sell. I did take one little short to try to, as we broke that B low, to try to get some momentum, but it didn't work, and I ended up basically, I think I actually lost 2 ticks on that trade short. But there is like, you know, if you can just remember that, and then if you figure out your reference point, so our 4120 is our closest reference point to the low, and then below yesterday's low is, I mean, really all of this trading here is responsive, right? Because we're below yesterday's low, so all of this trading in here is responsive. So any buy order taken below the 29 quarter is technically a responsive low. All right, Loxmon, have a good day. Is technically responsive buying, right? And so you're on the right side, but a responsive sell really wouldn't start until up here, right? And especially until we start to get up here. Not saying that there's not opportunities, right? Because there has been opportunities to get short up higher and then trade it back lower. It's just a more risky trade, right? So whereas if you're buying below yesterday's low, especially on this slow tempo, you can typically just kind of sit and hold on to the position, or, you know, once it gets up to the target that you were looking for, or even back into the previous day's range, saying you're buying here down at the 4120, as soon as we get up to the 4129, just look to cover the position, right? We want to sell into strength. We know that pretty much today, with how small the range is, that it's a two-way market. Shorter time frame traders are in control of the market today. Not many big players are in. Until we get these squeezes down, then some bigger players are like, oh, let me grab a couple peanuts out of the barrel, since I'm at Texas Roadhouse, right? And dinner's not coming till tomorrow, which is the CPI number. So, just to sustain their appetite. But if you can grasp these things, that okay, I only want to be placing responsive trades when we're sitting in balance, and then mark those levels and then monitor for how the market acts at those levels that you think that responsive buyers are going to show up at, then you can really just kind of put yourself on the right side of the market for the most part. Like last week, if you guys looked at my trade performance, I didn't take a short last week at all, not one, for a whole week straight, because I just waited patiently for the price to come back down to my level and then just buy a responsive trade. And I didn't win all the trades, obviously, because sometimes it just doesn't, it's just natural. You don't win every trade. But, if you're patient enough, you can, put yourself in those right positions at least. He said they did that. That's exactly why I can't stand them. They claim to be anti-establishment for the people, but really sold out. Yeah. Yeah. And then, once, that's the thing, is once he figured out that he could make a bunch of money off just, BSing people, he was like, oh, that's what I'll do. So.
I think we're setting up for a nice move to the downside here if it breaks.
Yeah, they couldn't hold that prior day's low again. And now we have good reference points, right? On a balanced profile, we have excess in the D, excess in the A. So we know as we get into the A, we want to look for, shorter time frame responsive sellers to come in and sell into that excess, right? This is a selling tail. This is a buying tail. And then the same thing down here. As the market comes down into this level, we want to look to see if they're going to get tempo and continue the move. But if they don't, excess will hold as support. And so now we have our daily support and resistance levels intraday, right? Here's resistance at 35. Here's support at 18.5, right? 18.5 to 14 and then up to the high. But we look to play off of those levels. The breadth is kind of showing us that the downside is coming, but it looks like the unweighted sectors are really kind of leading the downside, whereas the weighted sectors, look at Apple. Apple's one time framing to the upside here, right? After going back to its open and not finding any sellers below its open. And if you scan through some of these, AMD, well, actually AMD is getting just smacked. My uncle's probably super happy because he's in like 1,000 puts. But Amazon, right, is trying to get above its open. If Amazon pops its open, it could bring a little bit of upside. Google is starting to move off to the upside, right, getting back to its open. Meta really just kind of just balancing a little bit lower. Microsoft was the strongest of the day so far, so it's kind of leading to the upside. Netflix is actually looking a little bit stronger in its one time framing to the upside as well. Triple Q really just kind of balancing lower. Looks like a B shape, short covering right here on the 27 quarter. Let's see if they move this thing up or down here. And then Tesla, the last one here, is pushing down on its lows, really kind of leading the market to the downside. Nice bounce. Sellers just got trapped on that low there. Careful here if you're in a short. Okay, there they go. They're trying to get it. They're trying to get it. There they go. Okay. Yeah, buddy. No? Are you ready for lunch? I'll make you lunch in 12 minutes
You're done?
when I'm done. Yep. Whatever you want. Weak spot 29.75. So sellers were able to push back below that low, and they're struggling here, and now it looks like they might be trapped on the 28.75. So they got 2 ticks lower. They need to keep pressing this thing down.
Bye.
Go ahead. They're trying here. All right, they get back down into business. Their target they need to get back below is at 27.75. This ELO is, pretty much right off the half back. So it's a mechanical low, and if they can't break it, then it's kind of going to show a bit of weakness. The weighted sector starting to give up a little bit. You see what I mean? So like when we're looking at this and you see these mechanical references, they shouldn't be holding as easily as they are, and that just kind of lets you know the type of people that are in the market today are shorter time frame traders. As we're coming back down to the VWAP right here, so that lets you know that if we do break the E low, right, and people are buying the E low, mechanical traders are buying the E low, that they're not attached to these positions. So a break of the E low could cause a good push back down to 23, which we've seen be a decent level today, because if they're buying the E low and it's been ticking up, and then they break the E low, they're going to flip and start selling the E low. AMD hit a new low again. Tesla's trying to break below it as well. Apple pulling back big time here, putting up a selling tail up on the top. There's that break. Now let's see if they get continuation here, and they should target that 23, which has been the big level today. Jared's probably happy right now. Should be rocking that short.
I actually closed one of my positions in profit, but went in the other one run.
I got scared and got out at the bottom of rotation.
I know you're like, oh, Jared's short because I'm always short, but like at the same time, dude, I've actually been making a lot of money off longs. Mostly because I get out of my shorts early and I'm just waiting for a bottom.
Yeah. I mean, lately there's been more money to have been made on long trades anyways, because for the past, I mean,
Yeah.
if we look here, especially in the ES specifically, we made a low on 617, and for the most part, I mean, yeah, there's been some downside, but even really since July 14th, the market's just been pretty much going up, right? We've had a little bit of pullbacks with balance. We're balancing again higher, but there really hasn't been much downside, to be honest. Trap some sellers down on the 2350, unable to get anything going here.
Dude, I was gonna buy that Zelo too.
No, a candy sandwich? No.
Gonna
Don't
hit
worry,
the
Jared.
reverse button.
I bought it for you.
reverse.
You can have lunch, Curtis. No, you just had Pop-Tarts. You're not having candy. JJ Trader, what's up, man?
That's so funny, Brad. Earlier, I entered a short at like 28.75, and you're like, "Oh, sellers are trapped right here on the 28.75." I was like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah, I mean, they almost did get a little bit off
Yeah, they did.
sides because it bounced up a little bit, but then the it was just like a quick scalp. It looked like by some buyers, but yeah, they almost did get trapped right there.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely got trapped on that 23 half. I'll tell you that. Hey Brad, can you explain mechanical references when you have a chance? Yeah, so mechanical references are things like the open, right? Or and sometimes they're referred to as static references where they don't change, right? And so and then references that change are dynamic references. Like the low of today is a dynamic reference because it definitely could change. We have, the low of yesterday is a static reference. And so that's a mechanical trader, people that buy yesterday's low, right? And you can see the E low is pretty much right off of the Globex low. So that's a mechanical reference. So if you're not tracking those, it's a little bit below actually, so I wouldn't say it, but you want to track those references because it lets you know the type of traders that are in the market. Shorter time frame traders, JJ, thank you for the follow. Shorter time frame traders are trading off of mechanical references, whereas longer money is not really, paying attention to these references. They're paying attention to value, right? And so that's why I was saying anyone that's buying underneath of yesterday's trading session is responsively buying, and that's typically a sign of larger money or longer term time frame traders. We have like we have short term, intermediate, long term. This could be intermediate or long term. There's no way to know for sure, but typically that's where they'll buy because it's below value. So if you go to the store and you see cereals $5 a box, and you love that cinnamon toast crunch, but you're not paying $5 a box, and then you go to the store the next day and it's marked down to $2.50. You're like, well, shit, let me grab a couple, right? Because I love this cereal and I'm gonna eat it. Tommy, what's up, man? And so that's kind of that's how longer term money is trading, right? Whereas shorter term time frame traders are seeing these reactions. So they're saying, off of a static reference, they're saying, oh, this E half back, it's held so far. I want to sell off that E half back. I want to sell right there off that half back because I've seen the market get sold off that level. Or I want to sell off today's open, another static reference. Or I want to sell off yesterday's settle, another static reference. Or I want to sell off the 100 SMA. That's yesterday's mechanical reference, right? And those are just it lets you know, right? So like, let's say if you're looking to sell on the open, right? Comes up to the open, it holds the open, trades back down. It lets you know how you want to manage that position. Jim Dalton calls it an anchor trade. I think he means it. Like in a bad way, but it's not to say that you can't make money off anchor trades. But what it's basically saying is if you're taking an anchor trade, it's probably shorter time frame traders, and if it gets above that level, you need to be able to just cut ways with that again, or cut ways with that fast. Because if you're a shorter time frame trader, and like Pop is saying, they're mostly scalping, but they will sit in a position as long as it's working, but they're mostly looking for scalps. So if you get a turnaround or a how do we call it, if you get a break above the open, these were once sellers sitting on the open will turn buyer, and now they'll buy the open because you have people that that's how they scalp the open. So it's they sell the open, and look, it's been working today. Every time it came up to the open, if you got short, you're probably doing okay, right? Because most of the trading today has happened below the open. But so if it pops above the open and starts to hold, all of these people that are shorting below the open, they'll switch and they'll buy the open. And then all of a sudden, because you're not paying attention to your references, you're like, oh shit, what's happening? Why do we keep going up? We've barely broken the open all day. And that's that's kind of what happens. Peanut butter and ooh, what was that? The bot's kicking butt today?
That was me.
You're buying that?
Yeah, I did buy it.
Oh, good job, Jared. Jared needs a pat on the back every once in a while, or else he'll cry. Dan says my stop is on the spot. My stop on the spot is above the 4012. Bro, just send it to 408 so I can make 200% and go make fun of Biden. I think that's why the stream got cut off earlier. You guys were making fun of Biden and they shut our stream off, shadow banned us. Short covering here on the 2475. Let's see if they can push this thing back down. You're seeing a little bit of offers come down here below half back, but not really seeing the follow through, right? That 23 would be a decent level that they'd want to hold below and start convincing people of these lower prices, right? E period trades inside of D period, just showing that the market is balancing. Starting to get a little pickup of breath here on the short side. Pop in short covering there. But on that note, I think I am going to call it here. The market's starting to slow down, right? We just got that E slow period, except for yesterday. Finally, we had a decent E period, but E period once again has done nothing for us. Tomorrow we have CPI at 8:30 in the morning, so I am going to be on the computer early tomorrow. I will try to get out the trade view before 8:30. Of course, I imagine probably nothing is going to happen for the rest of the day except for a bit of balance, and I do think there is possible odds of a late day liquidation. Profit taking mostly from older long positions as we're in this balance, but I don't see really a huge downside developing. But I could see, I do kind of see a possible late day liquidation. Remember last week, if we turn on our evening sessions here, we got this. Where's our session? Here it is. So we had this, big move down off of I think it was PPI numbers. Got a big liquidation in Globex, and then the market pretty much rallied for the rest of the day. That was Friday. So we have some CPI numbers, inflation reports. The White House really hasn't said anything about it. Basically, if a lot of times they put out statements to try to prepare, for higher inflation, right? They try to prep the market a lot of times, saying, oh well, it's not that bad, right? It's just a broken leg, stuff like that. And they haven't done that yet. So my guess is probably that the CPI number is going to be lower, showing, inflation cooling down a little bit. But, I'm not an economist or a fortune teller. So really, we'll just have to wait and see. But I will start the stream a little bit early tomorrow. If anyone wants to jump on, I'll try to go live around like 8:15, depending upon how fast I get done with my workout in the morning. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you do not have a trade plan, do not trade. And if you don't know how to make a trade plan, jump in our Discord, introduce yourself, say hey, and we will get you rolling on the right street. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you all later.